Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Oh my goodness. I tell you, I am so happy and truly blessed to have this opportunity to be with you once again. And I'm so glad to have you with me as well. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. And I would like to welcome each and every one of you to another episode of TJ's Topics. That's right. And I am TJ, by the way, in case you didn't know. It is truly a pleasure to be with you once again. I consider it a joy, an honor, and a privilege to be able to come into your presence on any given occasion. And what a very beautiful occasion this is because we are celebrating Christmas. Here we are at the end of another year, and the holidays are right upon us. We're celebrating Christmas and getting ready to go into the new year, and we're looking forward to the very best. Now, today I do have something that I would like to share with you that I consider a very important topic of interest. And so, as we go through the remainder of this holiday season, I think that there are many of us who will find ourselves in this situation. Maybe not everybody, and maybe not every day, but a number of us will at one point or another. Alone with your thoughts. That is something that many people are not able to handle, especially during the holiday season. But there are many people who will find themselves alone with their thoughts. Now, what does it mean to be alone with one's thoughts? That's a question that I'd like to ask you. What does that mean when you find yourself sitting alone with your thoughts? Being alone with your thoughts can lead to increased self-awareness, creativity, and emotional regulation. But it can also cause anxiety and discomfort. You know, that's something that humanity has a problem with, anxiety and discomfort, especially during the holiday season. Because the holidays, if you notice, tends to bring out the best in people, but they can also bring out the worst in people. And based on my own personal observation, particularly over the past decade or so, it seems to me like the holidays tend to bring out the worst in people more so than the best. Because, I mean, let's face it, most people cannot handle being alone during the holidays, much less throughout any other time of the year, but especially during the holidays. Christmas, and we just had Thanksgiving. Now we're heading into New Year. People have a desire to be around others. And it's natural because as humans, we thrive on community. But I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes it's good to be by yourself. As a matter of fact, you may find that you're able to become more aware of who you are as an individual when you spend some time alone, and especially when you are alone with your thoughts. Now, what are the benefits of being alone with your thoughts? Number one, it provides space for reflection, helping you to understand yourself, your values, and your flaws better. And believe me, we all have flaws, every last one of us. And doesn't it seem like our flaws tend to manifest themselves a lot more during these crazy and ridiculous holidays, when there's so much hustle and bustle, ripping and running, spending and you scraping, trying to come up with a few dollars to purchase a small gift for somebody. And, it's just too much. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous, the things that people put themselves through, all for the sake of trying to put a smile on somebody else's face. But how do you know you're really going to be able to please others? I think we need to spend more time focusing on trying to please ourselves first and make sure that everything is all right with us before we even put forth any effort to try to make somebody else happy, because others' happiness with us is never guaranteed. Number 2, being alone with your thoughts can improve your mental focus and creativity, which can make you feel more engaged with life. Now, who wouldn't want that? Being able to enjoy life and living it to the fullest. But when you're around a whole bunch of noise and a whole lot of confusion and this and that going on, it's hard to concentrate on anything. And that's usually the way the holiday season is. It doesn't afford us the ability to focus on anything else. Number 3, it can help you learn to tolerate uncomfortable emotions and develop a sense of inner peace. Now, at Christmas time, we always hear stories about peace, particularly Bible stories and stuff, the baby Jesus and all that, if you're a Christian, or even if you're not a Christian, but are familiar with the story, um, good tidings and peace, goodwill toward men, all that kind of stuff. But is there really peace at this time of the year? And these people, especially these retailers, want you to come in and spend your hard-earned money buying this and buying that to fatten up their wallets and enlarge their bank accounts and their profits. Now, where's the peace in that? And then look, how you gonna have peace spending all your money at Christmas time? Then you get that credit card bill in January. Oh man, there goes your peace. And number 4, it teaches you not to reach out to others simply to avoid being alone with your thoughts. Because look here, at this time of the year, people are running rampant, trying to go to this party and that party, go to this dinner and that dinner, going over this person's house and that person's house, dropping off gifts all over town and stuff, making deliveries and everything else. That's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard to have any kind of peace at this time of the year. And that's the one reason why most of us, once we become adults, we don't necessarily view Christmas the same way we did when we were kids, and I'm telling you, it's a mess. However, there are ways where we can calm our nerves, even at this time of the year, you know, and that's one thing that we need to do, as we go through these holidays, because I tell you, they can be a mess at times. One way we can do so is we need to prepare our mind for this occasion, and any occasion for that matter. And to be more specific, we got to learn how to turn off distractions such as cell phones. Sometimes you got to turn your phone off. If anybody calls you, they can go to voicemail, leave a message, or send you a text, and you can call them back or text them back later. Turn off the TV, the radio, the computer, anything else that's going to be a distraction to you. Turn those things off and just sit in quietness. I'm telling you, you'll feel so much better if you do. Think for pleasure. Just think. That's something that a lot of people don't do. And we're not taught to do that. Have a list of topics to think about, such as future goals, or pleasant memories. Begin with a short 10-minute session, just sitting in peace and quiet, and then gradually increase it with time. Focus on the present. However, if your mind begins to wander, bring your attention back to your physical surroundings and your experiences at that time, like the feeling in your feet or the noises, the different sounds that you hear around you. And finally, take slow, deep breaths. That will help calm your mind too. So I tell you, those are some things that we need to dwell on throughout the remainder of this holiday season. And we shouldn't have a problem being alone in our thoughts because, to tell you the truth, we can benefit from it tremendously. Alone time is always a good time, whether you believe it or not. We need peace. We need tranquility, quietness. You'll be surprised at what you learn about yourself when you are alone with your thoughts. And so with that being said, I would like to say thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of TJ's Topics. And I really appreciate you stopping by. Look forward to seeing you again after these holidays, especially after Christmas, because, oh Lord, I tell you, it's a hot mess. But I hope you have a Merry Christmas. And I hope all of you enjoy yourselves with your family and friends or whoever, or even by yourself. You can still have a good time. This is Taryn Jerome Harris, reminding you that every round goes higher and higher. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.